Hello, welcome to Maximum Power Up. Again, I'm Paul. Today I'm going to talk about a series of books that most of you will be aware of. The amazing visual compendiums by Sam Dyer, also known as Bitmap Books. Now, it's going to be, quick discussion about them, and also mention his latest one that he's doing at the moment, the Spectrum Visual Compendium. That's been going now for almost a week, and obviously it's doing extremely well. By now, most of you probably had a look at the Commodore 64 one that he did last year, which I've got a copy here, which is absolutely stunning. As you can see there, number 1 in the series, and remember when we both did a Retro Silent podcast last year, so I got him to sign in for me at Play Manchester last year, and also got one of the loader cards with it, of a load of postcards. So, like I say, every book, featuring quite a few classic games, artwork, things like that, and as it says, it's more of a visual look with, nice little bit of text at the side as well. So, obviously, that was his first book. Again, really successful Kickstarter. And then his second one was the Amiga one, which is really, really hefty. Now, we did a podcast episode looking at the Amiga books. Obviously, we discussed it a little bit there. But I've not actually shown what I actually got with mine by basically being a Kickstarter backer. So, just obviously have a quick look at the book. Like I say, we did mention it in the podcast we did, and as said, featuring so many classic games and everything like that. So obviously, it's cinemaware. I still haven't looked through this, all the way through yet, because it was like 400 odd pages time it finished. It was so popular. I don't think Sam actually had any idea how popular this was going to become. Obviously, they're showing again the amazing Populous. What else? We've got Silkworm. But main reason why I just brought it up is obviously just show a few of the things that I actually got with mine, because this is something that I didn't really mention in the podcast. So I just pop that down. So yeah, it's sort of like, in a way it's a sort of pick-up video in regards to showing something that I've not shown before on here. God, I'm babbling, sorry about that. So, the Kickstarter goodies that I managed to get with this one, and obviously fingers crossed that the Spectrum one goes great guns, because I do love little game related things like this. So with me Amiga one, I managed to get the branded Amiga pen, the little Amiga badge, which still hasn't even out of the little bag. Also got, which I've still not listened to. Now this is one thing that we did mention on the podcast, the Remix Shadow of the Beast CD. Just show that there. I also got one of the Amiga postcards from Demo Scene. I love Amiga sticker. A couple of bookmarks, a metallic one, and also just the cardboard one there. And I also got this amazing, which I do still need to get framed, because it's one thing that we did mention. I'm really impressed by this. The Another World poster, which was a great game growing up, and it's got this amazing gold print there. So obviously I've shown off me posters in here before with me Monkey Island 1, which is just sort of right there, and the Zap McCracken, which is sort of above where this camera is now. And then I also got, for being one of the first 100 backers, which I've still not opened yet, but you might be able to see it through, they asked me about Loom badge, which is obviously featured in the first Monkey Island game. Again, LucasArts classic. So, why am I going on about that? Obviously, myself, I've backed the Spectrum book, which is going to be the third in the series of Sam's books, and quite looking forward to it myself because it's Spectrum's not something that I'm really that up on. I had a couple of mates who had them because I spent most of my 8-bit memories playing the Amstrad. Found it like one of my best mates. That's not to say I didn't go on for Spectrum a bit. I remember playing Robocop quite a lot. Also the original Dizzy game, and there's a couple of others. And just remember that going to things like the market, picking up games for a couple of quid. Some of them absolutely awful, but again for £2 you can't go wrong, can you? One thing I'm just going to get while we're on Spectrum. That's if I can find it. Thought I'd have games magazines. No, no. I was looking then for a couple of issues of Crash because looking through the sort of a Kickstarter page for this Spectrum book, there's going to be obviously features looking back at your Sinclair, Crash magazine, and again because I'm a massive fan of magazines, I find that really interesting, and it's great to see all the big names that I worked on magazines back in the day. So basically the way the book's going at the moment, I'd be very surprised obviously if it made it as big as the Amiga one, but then again saying that, that's just obviously easy to say at the moment because there's still over 3 weeks to go, and like I said, I bet we had no idea the Amiga one was going to be that popular. There's obviously some great people obviously signed up straight away to work on the book. You've got David Darling from Codemasters, you've got Jim Bagley, you've got Simon Butler who worked for Ocean, so there's a lot of big names already who've signed up to obviously work on this book, so it'd be great hearing what they've got to say about certain games and stuff like that. Reasons really why I feel like you should back. Obviously you don't have to, this is only my opinion, but basically what they have said is that these rewards are just obviously for the backers of a Kickstarter, so every single backer is getting 5 of a load of postcards. Like I said, I got a postcard with each of the books before, so a set of 5 looks quite nice. Obviously the higher the pledges go, money made, the book will just get thicker and thicker. And then there's 2 massive things. When it hits £70,000, there's going to be a Alistair Brimble CD who worked again some Spectrum stuff, and again quite a lot on the Amiga as well. So again that he's going to be doing a remix CD of classic Spectrum tracks, so that'll be quite interesting. So hopefully it'd be good to hear that, and again have that in the sort of alongside the book. The big one that stands out, and this looks absolutely amazing, but I don't know how it's going to look on my shelf. If it hits 85,000, he's looking at doing this sort of polystyrene moulded cases to put it, that this Spectrum book will go inside. It looks absolutely amazing. Obviously if you go onto the Kickstarter page and look for Spectrum Visual Compendium book, there are pictures of it on there. So yeah, it's got some really, really good ideas. So again, anyone who's obviously seen the other 2 books will know how nicely they are put together, and again, the nice pages that just sort of stick in the book, don't come loose or anything like that. So there's obviously different pledge levels. I myself obviously just gone for the book. I know that there was things like signed posters and stuff like that, but still other things available like the book and a t-shirt and other stuff, but I think that's just it. I find myself buying so much stuff game related, I've just got to draw the line somewhere, but it's something obviously I think they look absolutely brilliant. So obviously I do want to keep collecting the set. I'm just hoping that, Sam, if you do see this, you do either an arcade one, a Super Nintendo one, or one of the magazines. Definitely. Come on, you've got your contacts now. I'd love to see one of the magazines. Anyway, that's all from me. Check it out. Again, if you've not listened to it already, listen to the Amiga book podcast episode we did. And again, our latest podcast episode is all about Nerg and what we thought of Play Blackpool. I almost said Play Expo again, but yeah, Play Blackpool. Okay, I'll have to play some games. I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.